Hey everybody, it's Nolan here. Hello guys. Hello. Sorry that the video is late. Unfortunately, the wife was sick over the weekend, so I've been trying to tend to her and take care of everything for that. I just wanted to come in. We're gonna do a short video today. It's not gonna be too long or anything like that. Just some discussions. I wanted to get kind of off the chest and give you guys some clarity and stuff like that. I told you guys earlier on our Instagram and Facebook and everything that we were going to talk about streams that we crossed recently. Well, basically, what that means is Thanksgiving just passed. I told you guys that I wanted to talk about the fact that my grandmother hasn't seen me since before then, for a couple months when I first started testosterone and things like that. Thanksgiving went fairly well. Thanksgiving did a fairly good job at it. We cooked everything, and I heard not once, but 3 or 4 times that everybody was full. So that's a good thing, because my family's very picky on what they eat. So to hear everybody say they were full, and to know that we did a good job with that, that is a big crowd pleaser in my opinion. I'm very happy for it. Um, Yeah, it went fairly well. My grandmother didn't have too much of a problem. She didn't really say anything. She was kind of enjoying herself and in her own little world, and just celebrating and things like that. Basically, the only issue I ever ran into on Thanksgiving was the name, which I've kind of put it in my head, until I grow a full beard and physically look like a man. Um, my family's gonna slip up. They're gonna call me by my birth name. A lot of people I know get mad about that. Um, they find it to be offensive or insulting, or they feel like their family's not trying or anything like that. And I really don't think that's the case. You have to understand, these people have known you your entire life. I mean, you can tell whether or not they truly care about you and what you're trying to do, or if they're trying to insult you by calling you your birth name. In this perspective, they're not trying to insult me. For 20 so years, I was known as a completely different person. It's not like I came out at 5 or 10 even, so for most of my life, they've known me as a different person. They know me by a different name. I was raised in a completely different, environment. So to sit there and be mad at them for something that I am going through, it's new to everybody. It's not just new to me. It's not just new to them. It's new to everybody. Everything. So it's all about being able to really find your comfort zone and saying, look, psychologically, they're just as new to this as I am. They're transitioning with me. Like I said, you can tell if they're supportive or if they're just don't care. And for those of you that have supportive parents, it's not that they're trying to call you by your birth name intentionally. It's just harder to put in their head right now, especially if you don't look trans, if you don't look like a male, if you don't look anything. It's harder for them to put in their head, hey, listen, you know, this is so and so now, not who I have known for all these years. So unfortunately, every now and then they slip. I will say that during Thanksgiving, a lot of the time people try to catch themselves. For the most part, they would say it and then they catch themselves. I stuck with Nolan. One of the reasons why I chose that name was because it's an in name, and my birth name was an in name. So being able to transition the quickness of trying to enunciate and pronounce my name, it helps people catch themselves a lot quicker than what you would if I was to choose Skylar or Jonathan or some completely off the wall name that doesn't even have the same ring to it. Nolan, it rolls off the tongue, and I found that it helps them keep themselves, check themselves a lot quicker. I will say my grandmother did try to check ourselves very much more, compared to what would have happened beforehand. I do think that the voice changing and the body changing and things like that kind of helped. I do think that hearing me sound more like a guy, I think that kind of helped her click a little bit more. I was like, oh, I mean Nolan, and the most part is they apologize. And my family is very big on apology. It's I'm sorry, I don't. You gotta understand. You gotta understand, and I do. And that's the biggest thing is you have to understand their perspective. And I think a lot of trans people don't really do that. I don't think they give the people as much credit as they should for trying. It's going to happen unless you physically look like the sex that you're trying to be. To them, you are still the person that they've known you as. I'm okay with that. Psychologically, I'm okay with that. I don't think a lot of people are. But I did want to get that off my chest and kind of talk about that because I do think that you're going to have to find a balance in order to make yourself happy and at the same time not let their choice in saying that affect you to the degree that some do. I don't think it's all intentional. I do think that some of it's just a natural instinct that's like riding a bike or saying your ABCs or this and that. I mean, if you're taught something for so long and it's programmed in your head for however many years, and then all of a sudden just bam, now you're telling somebody you got to be something else. It's a big shock. It's a big change. Not everybody's used to it. Not everybody's ready for that change. Not everybody understands that change. Or like I said, sometimes it's just they don't realize that they're doing it. Like I said, because simply you were raised as somebody else. And I think that a lot of people need to hear that. A lot of people here need to hear the truth and hear us say, look, just because you're trans, you don't have this whole, well, if you're not going to call me by my name, then I'm just not going to associate with you attitude. You have to have that towards the people that don't matter, not towards the people that do. And I think that that's where the biggest conflict in finding happiness with being a trans person is you knock away everybody that that may just not understand or try to, you know, they may not understand or they may just be trying in their own way, but you're not giving them the patience or the chance to. So I feel like there just needs to be more patience, more understanding, and more of a psychological evaluation saying, look, these people are different than me. They don't understand me. So for them, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to cope or to deal with what I'm trying to do. I think that if you can say it's going to take time, I think that if you can continue to put that in your head and say it's going to take time until I physically look like the gender that I want, sometimes they're going to slip. All I can do is find the things that they do support me in, find the ways that they support me, and make the best out of that. It's just a name. It's just a name. You're, like I said, unless they're physically trying to insult you, which you know your family, you know the people that you're talking to, you know if they're physically trying to tell you off and insult you, or if they're just supportive but not understanding, or supportive but not coherent with what they're doing. Sometimes we become oblivious to things. A crowded room and you may walk past a piece of paper on the floor and not realize it, just simply because you're not observant to it. I don't think that they're observant to trying to really focus on your name. I think that over the time, over the growing period of as you grow and transition, they'll grow and transition, and the name will become easier. But it has to give that chance. I do think patience is a virtue. So, with that being said, yeah, that's just my view. It was a big stream for me to cross to say and understand and be okay with it. Um, at the same time, you do have to keep your boundaries, guys. And now, when I say this, don't, you know, be a puss and give in to everything and let everybody call you by your birth name. Only by the ones that are trying. If they slip up, don't get mad. Work with them. Continue on. It's not going to break your heart. You're letting it break your heart, and you're letting it drain your energy. So I do think that, with that being said, it just, like I said, needs to be more patience. I think that we as trans people need to communicate more to the people that love us and make sure that, we're understanding as much as they're trying to understand us. You can't force somebody to understand you if you're not willing to try to understand their side of everything as well. So yeah, that was my stream that I crossed, my path. Um, Realizing in life that things are happening. I'm still transitioning. Nothing's stopping that. But I do think that a lot of us allow our names to affect everything, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't think so. For me personally, that's what I believe. I believe patience, understanding, kindness, caring, and to continue on, to just move on, and realize that it's just a name. It's hard, but we get through it, and eventually it'll all come together, and eventually you won't even find your name being an issue anymore. So, with that being said, Lady and the Trans, we are signing out because my big old dog over here just decided he was going to try to fall down the stairs. So, Lady and the Trans, peace out, fans, friends, and family. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your day.